It's time to take A Therapeutic Dose, a prescription-strength reality TV podcast that explores the intersection of reality TV and therapy. Possible side effects may include entertainment, strong emotional reactions, and/or laughter. Here are your hosts, Ramona Ramirez and Margie McGee.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to A Therapeutic Dose, where we meet at the intersection of reality TV and therapy. I'm Margie McGee, and with me, as always, is my dear friend and co-host.
Hello, Margie, one of my favorite people to see, one of my favorite people in my life, one of the people that holds a massive amount of real estate in my heart and in my soul. I love you, and I'm so happy to see you.
I love you too, and
Thank
all the
you.
same.
Yes. So we have had, and this is a great thing, we have had a lot of Loon listeners. We want to say welcome to
Yay.
all of you. We're so excited that you're here, and we hope that you like hearing about our perspectives that we've picked up on watching these wonderful, mostly Bravo shows. We are not a recap podcast. There are so many fantastic Bravo recap podcasts that, like, honestly set the gold standard. Obviously, we're talking about Watch What Crappens. Obviously, we're talking about everything iconic with Danny Pellegrino. Ryan Bailey does great recap. Bravo We're Black does great recaps and great takes. We are not a recap podcast. We do touch on scenes, obviously, to give some context, but you know, Margie's way better at explaining what we are than I am. This is how we work. This is what we don't do. And Margie's all, this is what we do. We're full fucking yin and yang, dude.
I love it. Good for us. No,
Yeah.
I mean, our whole sort of mission statement with this podcast is that we do not believe that reality TV is trash. And in fact, we use it as a tool for tending to our own mental health, because both of us have been in 1,000 years of therapy and seeing psychiatrists and astrologists and ketamine therapy and like any avenue
Meds,
you can.
EMDR, fucking New Year's intention settings. Like, you live in
Psychics,
LA,
mediums,
right?
Artist Way, like you
Oh
name
my
it.
God,
We've tried it.
totally.
Conversations
Yes.
with God, 12-step
Yes.
programs. I'm in 1,000 12-step rooms. We met in a 12. Anyways, our
Yeah.
whole point in watching these shows is like we're either triggered by something that we see in these people, which means it's a reflection of something that we have to work on in ourselves, or we get to see people act out in a way where we're like, ooh, that's a cautionary tale of how like I never want to be as an adult person in this world. So that's sort of our angle on this is like it's a teaching tool, it's a sociological lesson, and it's a way for us to examine our own mental health and where it's failing and where it's succeeding at any given moment.
Exactly. Exactly. And we've often said all roads lead to Bravo, meaning, you know, at the end of the day, yes, we know at this point in the making of the sausage, we understand producers' hands in it. We understand there might be storylines wrapped in it. But at the end of the day, let's take this season, for example. Like, Kyle is not faking this shit with her husband. She's not faking what is going on in her life. Sutton was not faking what she's been processing for the last 3 or 4 episodes. We saw Erika Girardi's life. I mean, I guess we could argue that it's still kind of going up in flames, or the embers aren't burned out yet by any means. And it's like it's real life, but it's not real life. You know, we see Lisa Rinna on pause as a consequence. Like, things happen. And we are so lucky to be able to have access to watching what goes on. And it's anthropological, it's sociological, and it is a cautionary tale. A lot of times, yeah.
Sorry,
go ahead. No, you.
It
Please.
speaks to the thing that we both have such a strong reaction to, which is liars and people keeping secrets. So the people that keep secrets on these shows are the ones who they are trying to curate a story for themselves. But then Teresa Giudice goes to jail. Joe Giudice goes to jail and gets deported. Like, that's not a reality TV storyline.
Nope.
That's an actual life falling apart as a consequence of lying, keeping secrets, putting up a front, needing to maintain some vision of yourself and doing it at any cost. And like that's sort of that seems to happen across all of
Yeah,
these
it
franchises. And so,
does.
yeah.
It does. Yeah. It's oh God. I mean, just saying it makes me excited.
Yeah,
I love Bravo. I
me
love
too.
Bravo. All roads lead here, and reality TV is not trash. Absolutely not.
And
Absolutely
this
not.
this episode in particular of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills was a whole like Valentine to therapy. Like if any
Totally.
episode speaks to what we're
Totally.
doing, I was like, "Oh my god, everyone's trying therapy. People are admitting they've never been in therapy." I was like, "Oh,
Yeah,
this is really right up our asshole."
totally. Right up our asshole. I love that. Oh my God. And I usually save this for the end, but I want to do it in the beginning because Huh. I can't stress enough how important and helpful it is when you, the listener, rate, review, and subscribe. Make sure you have your downloads turned on. It really helps us. We're excited to share what we share, and we just want more people to hear it. And one thing that I think Margie and I do really well is, I've been in therapy since I was 16 fucking years old. I met Margie in a 12-step room called Overeaters Anonymous for people that had eating disorders. And we've shared this before, and we both have permission to share our respective anonymities. So oh fuck, I lost where I was going. This is the first time it's happened. We're 6 minutes in. I guess that's better than normal.
You were
Shit.
talking about having people subscribe and
Oh
rate and
yes.
review.
Okay. So uh therapy, I feel like therapy and mental health in general is still talked about or viewed at as something that needs like a lot of reverence and you need to be really serious. What if I start looking at my behaviors? Am I going to be a changed person? Do I want to be a changed person? I love my fucking, sick, twisted sense of humor. Will that go away if I try to be a better person? It's Margie and I are here to I guess, show you that discussing mental health, exploring your mental health, there is so much humor to be had, and there's so much irreverence to be had. And being a human is messy and unpredictable, and we all carry our pasts and our, parents' pasts and just generations of human behaviors. And I know for me, when I talk about mental health or therapy with anybody, I want people to know that it doesn't have to be that serious. Shit might feel real uncomfortable when you're down in the nitty gritty. Absolutely. But I mean, in general, after a while, am I making sense?
Yeah,
What I'm
it's
saying?
reminding me of that line in the Big Book that says, "We are not a glum lot." And of course, the
Yes.
Big Book was written in 19 like 40 or whatever, so pardon the
Yeah.
language, but it basically means like we don't come here to just like ruminate and
Exactly.
punish ourselves.
Exactly.
Or it's like
No.
it's finding levity in like the reality of who you actually are.
Right.
All of your
Right.
faults are like lovely pieces of you, that
Yes.
don't need
Thank
to be,
you.
tamped down with drugs or alcohol or bulimia or whatever your
Right.
self-destructive behavior or
Yep.
substance of choice might be.
Yep. Shopping,
Shopping. It can be
cigarettes.
anything. Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, fucking my iPhone. God damn it.
Yeah.
God damn this fucking phone. I need it. I need my maps. I need my music. I need my camera. And I don't think I can do that with anything else. Although I do look at dumb phones every once in a while because I feel like this thing is it's so addictive as I turn it face down. It's okay. It's on Do Not Disturb. No one's going to bug me
It
right
is
now anyway.
addictive. But I feel like at least I can tell when I'm using it to numb out
For
as opposed
sure.
to when I'm like, what is the weather? Because I don't know if I should bring a jacket. Like that's a very
Yes.
different use than like,
What
it's
is the traffic?
midnight. I'm
Right.
uncomfortable. I don't want to go to bed. So I'll scroll TikTok and watch like fart and puppy videos for 2 hours. That's not healthy. There's a better way to
I
do that
mean,
night.
if you weren't tired
Yes, if I
and it was
wasn't
bringing
tired.
you some
Mhm.
joy, then I would say that's good. And okay, let me remember. I know I often promise that I'm going to drop shit in the show notes, and I don't know that I've done a very good job of that. But I do know that recently, like within the last few years, an article or a study came out saying that the games on your phone can help you when you're feeling really activated by like a traumatic memory or something traumatic just happened. So sometimes when I'm feeling really emotionally dysregulated, another thing that Margie and I like to say a lot on this podcast and in our real lives, and I say this to my therapist, and I say it to myself in a gentle way when I know that my reaction to something is not commensurate to the situation that may have triggered that, is I just fucking if okay, no, I got it back. Oh my God. If
We
it's
also both have ADHD, if
we all
anyone
but yeah,
hasn't guessed yet.
we have diagnosed ADHD
Neurospicy.
and we're very neurospicy. And I often forget what I'm talking about because I go off. I'm also verbose as hell. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Like, what am I supposed to do? You know what? I tried, believe me. If I could have changed my personality as a child, which would have made surviving in my house so much easier, if I could have changed my personality as a child in school, uh, not talk as much, which can be a hallmark of ADHD. Obviously, not fucking understanding shit about math. Like, I barely graduated high school because of math and probably college too, for that matter. Oh my God. I don't need to go down this road. My point is, what is my point? If
I
it's
don't remember.
hysterical, if it's hysterical, it's historical. Oh yeah, we were talking about how we're ADHD. Oh yeah, and I was gonna say, like, I'm verbose. Oh my God, I had to go back.
Oh, we were
I
talking about iPhones
We were talking
and
about
how they're
iPhones
ruining our
too,
attention
and then
span
we
and
were
giving
talking
us
right,
ADHD.
exactly.
Yep.
So if I could have changed my personality and not be verbose and not be emotional and not be what my family called dramatic, I'm going to reframe that as I'm just passionate. And the fact that that shit wasn't killed when I was a kid, that's my personality. I can't change that. And that just goes to the ADHD thing. So to go back to the if it's hysterical, it's historical, you know, and I don't remember what I was trying to say with that other than I
Did it
just
have
think
to do
it's
with the
like
iPhone?
it,
I lost it. I'm
I don't
sorry.
oh
My
dude,
brain
I don't blame you
turned
for
off and
shit.
turned back on.
Listen, if it was me, I would turn off and turn on too. My point is that if it's hysterical, it's historical, meaning if I'm having a huge reaction to something today that isn't commensurate to like what the situation is that's triggering it, that means it's historical, like something in my past is making me look at this thing in a way that's like causing me panic. And then I was talking about games and
You're
that,
right.
okay, so if I'm having a moment where something I feel very dysregulated, I'm having a moment where something feels hysterical. So I know it's historical and I should just take a beat. You know, lately I've had a lot of willingness to reach into my journal and that makes me so grateful. I'm always so happy when the impetus to write just feels real easy. But I will play my games on my phone if I'm feeling really dysregulated and I need to like kind of shut the brain off. The New York Times game hub is like the best $40 I've ever spent. And then I have another one that I really like. Anyway, that was my long-winded way of saying that sometimes playing with games on your phone isn't a full shit show
Yeah.
avoidant behavior
No,
thing.
nothing's all bad. It's like it works till it doesn't, as they
Yeah.
say. So, you know.
So, in conclusion, rate, review, subscribe, download, tell your friends. You know, we've had people tell us that this therapist helps them when they're like between therapy appointments or they're considering starting their own mental health recovery journey, and this has helped them feel supported. And we do it with our respective brands of humor and experiences, of which we have a lot and like to share about, because we also know, Margie and I also know, the power of sharing. When I tell another person my deepest, darkest, or just admit how my humanity shows up, it feels less big to me. More importantly, it could reach somebody that doesn't even know that's what's happening, but they're like, oh my God, I can relate to that. And then inadvertently, like, I've helped that person get clear by sharing my truth. And when we can relate to other people, we feel less lonely, we feel more supported, we feel less crazy. Does that make sense? So
Yeah,
that's
it's again, I'm like a big book thumper today, but it's that thing of, no matter how far down the scale we've gone, we'll see how our experience can benefit others. And that concept that the opposite of addiction is not sobriety, it's connection.
dude,
So it's just the isolation and the shame, like, what's it called? It starts with a V. Vicious cycle. Vicious
vicious
cycle.
cycle.
Anyways, that's the more damaging part of addiction than whatever
Totally.
substance
The
or behavior
secrecy,
you're acting out with. Yep.
the secrecy. Who said it? The terror of
Fred Rogers,
Fred
Mr.
Rogers.
Rogers.
Oh, Margie, please share
Oh God,
with the
I can't
group.
remember it off the top of my
It's
head, but it's a Fred Rogers quote that says something to the effect of like, once we share our secrets, like we release the terror
the
that they,
terror of
yeah,
that secret goes away.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, my God, Mr. Rogers. What the fuck?
That was
Patron
reality
saint.
TV. I loved
He
him.
he was the best. He's such a sweet, gentle, loving man. Oh my God, I love him. Loved him. R.I.P.
Yeah.
So that's where we're at. Let's lead this road back to Bravo. Do you have anything else to add before we move on to the
No,
show? Okay.
no.
So we're looking at season 13 of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, episode 16, Diamond in the Rough. Diamond in
Oh
the Rough.
God. Is that an Erika
I would say
reference?
so. I
Ugh,
mean,
I'm so sick of
she came in real hot this week with all the Diamond, BJ kind of content that she likes
It's
to be
such
known
a
for.
tired bit from
It's
her.
real
It
tired.
just
It just like it feels contrived,
nothing about
you
her
know?
feels legitimately sexy. Like I get
Yeah.
it. She's got a hot body, she dresses hot, but nothing about watching her move like makes me go like, "Oh my God, something's awakened in me." Never. It's
Mm-hmm.
just like, I get it. She's tall and thin and wears clothes well and likes to say blowjob, but
Likes to say blowjob.
whatever. Um, yeah, so the episode starts with one of our opening montages, which again went nowhere. Crystal's kid is putting makeup all over her face and telling her she looks like a clown. Dorit and Jagger are trying to play catch, and neither one of them can do it, and they both like blame each other. Anne Marie is with her party planners pitching this diamonds and champagne Mother's Day brunch that just feels like so just doing the most, Anne Marie, and yet doing nothing at all. Nothing special about this. She's so proud of herself. And I was like, honk shoe, what a snore.
She served Corbell to her guests.
That blew my mind. When they
Blew
showed
it.
the necks of the bottles with the
Blew it.
label on it, I was like, and I thought to myself, I'm like, maybe they're making like a mixed, like a punch or something. But I'm like, in Beverly Hills, you make your punch with Veuve Clicquot, right? Like
Um,
Corbell, you get at Costco for
right. I
that's
mean, I would say at least like a Piper Sonoma you make your punch with like a sparkling Italian wine, but like Corbell, dude.
yeah,
Like
it
I don't
was.
even think Southwest serves Corbell. Like I would probably drink Corbell on a plane if that was my only option. And I really wanted a glass of something fizzy, like
Hmm.
sparkling. Other
I'm
than
not
that,
opposed to Corbell. I was shocked to see it
oh,
at a diamonds and
right,
champagne
right,
party. I'm
right.
like,
Me too.
you missed your own point, Aunt Marie.
Right. I know. Anyway, I'm glad I wasn't the only one. I was all, "Corbell, oh my God."
Yeah,
Such
I
an
was mad
asshole.
again at Sutton in this episode, but in that moment, I was like, yeah, she's right.
Oh,
Corbell
yeah.
is for the others.
Dude, I had my Sutton denial glasses ripped off my face last night.
Yeah, it's hard, man.
I
Like,
hate
I
it.
know. And that's
I
the problem
hate
with,
it.
you know, uh, she's not diagnosed as an alcoholic, but like her drinking reads to me as similar to lots of alcoholics I've had in my life. And it's so hard because they're so wonderful and charismatic and charming and lovely. And then when they get in their cups, they're like, boy, she was a mess at that brunch and on her
Mm.
date. And I mean,
Oh, I thought she was so cute on her date. I guess we're jumping all over, but
okay, we're
yeah.
all over the place.
I
Sorry. We'll
know,
start
I
with,
know.
we should start with what we
We
are
should,
here to
right,
do, therapy.
exactly, exactly.
Erika pulls
Oh,
up to
Dr.
her
Jen.
outdoor therapy session at her therapist's house. Like, I've done a lot of therapy, but I don't know where any of my therapists live. And I thought that was part of the point,
Maybe
but
it's COVID. Maybe this was like a COVID thing.
maybe.
And maybe, and yeah, I know. Um, the one thing that came up for me at first when this scene happened, and I couldn't believe this was coming up, and maybe this speaks to maybe I am growing and maybe I am becoming more compassionate and accepting of other people. But like, I don't like Erika Jane at all. I don't care for Erika Girardi. I don't care for any of the iterations of Erika. I don't like watching ego run rampant. I cannot stand lack of humility and lack of personal responsibility. Like I can't handle that. Uh but I was struck yesterday when they did the flashback to 2021. I don't remember if they had recorded that in 2021 or if it was just the season that aired in 2021 when Erika was at like rock bottom. And the only reason why I liked that scene is because when I am in a really hard situation, it is so hard for me to remember that in a week from now, a month from now, a year from now, I'm probably going to feel completely different. And so to see Erika be in that really challenging space where she was just like, it was just triage for her just every episode having to just survive and get through. And I don't think she deserved compassion at that point. I'm still not sure she does. It's not for me to judge, but it's just like, that's how I feel. But that, to see proof that that's true, something that's going on today that feels really big may not feel really big in a matter of hours, days, weeks, months, years. And so, um, yeah, when shit gets real fucking foobar, all you need is time, right? I mean, that's very simplistic, but that's
No,
what came to me.
it's true. But it's just so hard to endure time when
It's just
things are, and
excruciating.
when you don't, when if someone could say 6 months from how now you'll have XYZ, and then I'll be like, fine, I can endure these next six
Right,
months. But if
right.
nobody can tell me that this is going to end or that it will end with any positive spin, man, that's a brutal place to be in. But I did take the same thing away from this. Like I liked that her therapist reminded her that shitty things can happen and you can recover and you know who's got your back and who doesn't. And I don't know that in Erica's case that's the right
Yeah.
thing to talk about, but I do
No.
think in life in general, like
Yeah.
the people who can sit with you through the hard times are invaluable. And you're one of those for me, as you well know.
Oh my God. Likewise.
Um,
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I like all of this stuff. I mean, in the scene, it's again just Erika rehashing about how she feels vindicated about this one small judgment in the midst of an ongoing trial. Tom his trial hasn't even started yet. He was found competent and
Yep.
his trial starts in May. So, like, we'll see, Erika.
So many trials of so many disgusting, problematic men starting in the spring.
Well, and I will say, I watched The Housewife and the Hustler, the second part of it, and Tom is going to throw her under the bus because at one point when he's like acting like he's lost his mind, a paparazzi asked him, "Do you think Erica knew anything?" And he takes some time and then he goes, "Yes, I think she knew." And I was like, "Oh, you're fucked, Erica. Don't celebrate just yet because Tom's mad and he's pissed that you're out there living a good life while he has to like fake dementia. And I don't think he's a nice guy. So
No.
check yourself, lady." Anyways, Should we move
There's
on to? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
excessive pounding going on in my backyard right now. I'm sorry. I hope no one can hear it. I will try to take it out in post, but just in
I
case I
can't hear
can't,
it.
it's like my house is shaking right now. Um, I did want to touch base on the fact that she's right. She said it's much easier and safer to take huge risks when you have a safety net, even an emotional safety net. Like, I know no shit, but also just seeing somebody say that on
But
TV, I was like,
certainly,
God
yeah,
damn, yeah.
and certainly a financial safety net. Like, there's
100%.
nothing at stake. You can spend all your
Yes,
money and there'll just be more. The other thing
totally.
that I liked in the scene was that, Dr. Jen says that, because Erica's bitching about how she wants to release what she's gone through with these women, in terms of not getting apologies from them.
Oh, yeah.
Meanwhile, at the end of the episode, that's the whole scene. But Dr.
Jesus.
Jen rightly says that, closure comes from you. Like, you can't wait on everyone else to do what you want them to do. You have to close this chapter for yourself. And I thought that was wise.
I actually have something about that was very prolific and profound in my own life when it came to this. I'm glad you reminded me. Yeah, it's true. So, I had been waiting for a step 9 from my father for, like, I don't know how many fucking years. And
That's the amends step
yes,
for anyone who doesn't
so
know, where you admit where you were wrong and try to
right.
change your behavior to earn trust back.
I don't wanna I guess I just did break his anonymity, but, like, I don't know. He usually tells people. So, I'm not 100% sure what my father's sobriety, looks like today. I have a feeling that he's sober. I know he goes to a lot of, AA meetings around the clock on video. So but and this was definitely a lot harder to do before I started ketamine. There's, like, pre-ketamine dealing with my alcoholic dad, post-ketamine dealing with my alcoholic dad, and it's night and fucking day, and I am so grateful for that medicine. My point is, I waited for a very long time for a step 9 from my dad. I think I even asked for one. Probably, I'm sure I was just not in a very good, healthy space when I asked for that. I probably was just trying to be an asshole. Who could blame me? Oh, I'm rationalizing. I'm doing all the shit. Anyway, I'm not perfect, God damn it. Um, so I never got one. Uh, and I realized it's exactly true. And even if I did, like, what would it change? I'm the one that knows his behavior was inappropriate as at best. I'm the one that knows that I don't deserve to be treated like that. I have all the answers. Like, I don't need anything from him. And it just goes to show you that, like, the step 9 is actually for the person making the amends. It's not for the person receiving it necessarily, right?
Hmm.
And so if he's not in a place where he can give me a step 9, I don't need that anymore because I know it's not going to change anything. So that's what this scene reminded me of. Like, yeah, I have to find that validation inside and not expect it from someone else, even if, again, on my cosmic scoreboard, on my cosmic whiteboard, my psychic scoreboard, dad 0, Ramona however many points. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The apology isn't going to do anything. So it sounds like Erika knows that. Anyway, so
Well, her therapist knows it. I don't know if it ever gets into
yeah,
Erica's head, because
but
in this scene, she says, I want to release it. And then in the last scene, she's like, I want to say something. I need apologies from everyone. And then she lets everyone apologize. And I was like, well, you didn't exactly
yeah,
release it
that
and
was
find closure for yourself. Now,
no,
did you, dear?
no, no.
Jackass.
I mean, first scene though, and it already like brought up 3 things that were really big to in my own life. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
All roads, not
And then
trash.
we head to Santos's stable with Sutton and Avi. And Sutton is just so rich that she misidentifies her like insanely expensive horse. She looks at an all black horse and is like, there's Santos. And Avi's like, no, he's got white on him. And she's like, okay, well, from a distance, he looked like that. I loved Avi with his little basket of carrots, and I
I
love that he tried to
know.
feed Santos a purple carrot, but
I
Santos just
know.
jacked a regular carrot. Like, I don't know. It's a
He's
cute
all, I
little
don't want
horse
that purple
scene.
carrot. It was so cute. That horse has spirit.
Yeah. And the horse trainer was, just unimpressed and
Suffering
unamused.
no fools.
No, because she knows
Mm-mm.
Sutton's gonna come ride this thing once every 6 months, maybe. So it's Nicole's horse, but Sutton's
Oh,
there for the day. It made me laugh when Sutton said it's more like me to fall off the stairs than the horse when she was climbing up the
oh
stairs.
my
In this scene, I was
God.
like, "Oh, Sutton, you're so charming,"
Yeah.
because I think she was sober in this scene. So I loved it.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I
And then
really,
Kyle arrives. Oh, sorry, what were you gonna say?
no, I just like my denial when it comes to Sutton. Like my denial. My
It's
denial.
normal. We want them to be that's what's
Ah,
so tricky about loving someone in addiction is that they're so wonderful when they're not acting out. And they're capable of that. So you just want to like
yeah.
stick around for more of it, but it comes with all of the, intermittent bullshit of making your choices based on alcohol in your brain.
Yeah. It's a one-way ticket to fucking the Twilight Zone, and I am
Yeah.
not interested. Mm-hmm.
No. So Kyle arrives and the Sutton is again just so rich. She shoos Avi away and she just goes, go do stuff. It's like, oh my God,
God.
you're a monster.
Poor Avi. He loves it. They have it
Yeah,
worked
I
out.
know. He enjoys his time with her.
Yeah.
And then we get into more therapy. Kyle asks if Sutton and Christian, her ex-husband, ever went to therapy, and she said no. And then Kyle gets into reporting that she and Mauricio are going to therapy together and what's coming up for them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
This idea that they're both taking on tons of work, which is causing a lot of physical and emotional distance, and it's
Yep.
really harming the marriage.
Yep.
And then we were talking about this before we started recording. Then Kyle says that, she thinks it's Mauricio's turn to make some sacrifices. He needs to stop saying yes to everything the agency is asking of him, or I guess he's asking of himself because he's the big boss. And she talks about how she did everything through the 20 plus years of child rearing, and now she wants some independence of her own. And
Mm-hmm.
Marisa is not used to dealing with Kyle having a schedule other than homemaker and mama. And so
Or
that's
like companion,
exactly.
arm, yeah, like his supportive spouse on his arm at agency events or making appearances anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can tell Kyle's like really fed up. Like this is untenable and the tension only gets worse throughout the episode.
Oh my God. I liked that she said she doesn't want to wake up like after Portia's out of the house, essentially, and just be like, what is my life? And she's enjoying her freedom. These are really relatable things that she's she's going through, you know? I softened at Kyle in this episode. It took me almost the whole goddamn season and 13 years. Lol.
Takes what it takes.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Ah. And then we go to Garcelle's house where she and Jax and Jade are shooting an anti-cyberbullying campaign. And again, I just love any opportunity we get to see Garcelle with her sons. And I love her sons because they are such different, opposite side of the spectrum, yin yang people. Like,
I mean, they're just 14-year-old boys. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know
yeah.
what either of them, but they are. I love how different they are. I love Garcelle saying, like, when they're not assholes, they're pretty great. And, like,
Oh God.
Jade was assigned to hold the cue cards and he was like dancing. And Garcelle has to keep
So
telling him,
cute.
like,
I
stop
know.
moving. He dropped the cue card too soon. He was making faces. Like,
Making noise.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're teenage boys. Like, I don't know. You can't ask them to stand still.
Oh, I just love them. They're so darling.
Yeah. And I thought the message was lovely, about
Totally.
the intensity of cyberbullying and, yeah.
Oh, the bots. The bots
Hmm.
that he was what 14, 12 when
Mm-hmm.
he had to 13 when he had to endure that. Thanks
Yeah.
to Erika, Jane, and Diana, right?
That was
Theoretically, allegedly.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's hard to think they didn't have a hand in it in some way, shape, or
God
form. But
damn.
who knows? But either way, being cyberbullied sucks. And
Yeah.
yeah. Um, and then we sort of wrap up Garcelle's like opening storyline with her kids, where Garcelle tells Jax that she's learned that she needs to parent her boys differently
Mm.
and that she's willing to give him some freedom. And then just in the ultimate, like, to me, this just seems like it sums up parenthood, where she's like, I might not be perfect all the time, and he's like, but you'll try to get better. And she's like, no, I'm not bad. And he's like, well, I'll take that as a signal of good things to come. And
Oh
she
my
just like
God,
drops her
kid.
head. It's like they'd had this lovely like public service announcement experience together. She was giving him the freedom he'd asked for, respecting him. And then he's just like, you still kind of suck. So I hope this gets better. And she's like, I can't win.
Oh my
Very cute.
God. Oh, I am not looking forward to it. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. My kid will still reach for, like, if I put my hand down, like at pickup, he'll still like instinctively just, or like reflexively put his hand up to hold mine. And I don't want him to not hold my hand.
Yeah.
I know what's going to happen. And I know that means that he's growing and developing. I'm just saying that anyway, who
It's
cares?
just so it's a design flaw, and like
It's a design flaw.
parenting is like, if you do it right, they go away.
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
Forever.
yeah.
You know? Yeah.
And that means you did a great job. So
It's,
that's
yeah.
confusing and heartbreaking.
Bruh.
But it's, also, again, why Kyle is like, I need to have my own life, because otherwise my life will just be mourning all of
Exactly.
my children not being here anymore.
Exactly. Exactly. Oh, God damn it. Oh, Steve and Sutton on their second date
At the Surly Goat.
at the Surly Goat. I think the Surly Goat opened after. Oh, wait. Did I go to the Surly Goat? Where is the Surly Goat
I
again?
think it's up on Santa Monica around like Crescent Heights ish. I think it's like a big black outdoor
Then
block
it must
shaped
have,
building
I
with
think
just
it
a little
opened
goat head on the side.
after I left LA.
It might have. I think it was like a Brazilian barbecue place for it. Who cares? That's not why you
Oh my
called.
God. Was that? Oh God. I know exactly what you're talking about then. If that's
Yeah,
what the place that it was. Oh my
I
God.
think.
Oh, hilarious. Okay. Um, Sutton tells Steve that Spain did her good, and then I just noticed that she had no shame at all pulling out her own ocean spray.
And you know my take on that.
I do.
I think she showed up drunk, and her whole attention is on her drink and her mixer and
Oh.
her purse. And she's blinking slowly, she's moving slowly, she's talking slowly, reacting slowly. And I'm like, oh, I've been to dinner with this person. And she didn't get out of control, but like, again, and through my filter of being a child of an alcoholic, I was just like, that feels like the pace and cadence of someone who's drinking.
Hmm.
I think Steve showed up having not had a drink, and I think Sutton showed up having had a couple.
Bug.
I don't know. I could be
Oh.
wrong.
I I I didn't like the Celine joke. It was stupid. Like, oh my God, just come on. Dumb.
He's a doofus. He's
I
a
like
sweet doofus.
he is a sweet doofus, but like I didn't know Celine Dion made purses. It's just like, come on. Come on,
Yeah.
dude. You live in LA. I don't know. I feel
Well,
like
he said, I think they were just misfiring, because he's like, that was a joke, or like, I think they
yeah.
were both trying to figure out. But again, this is where my insights right now are so tight, because I'm like, well, she was drunk, so of course he didn't know what to say, because he
Mm,
sensed it. And when you know someone's not really listening, you can't really joke, because like, what you don't know anyways,
that makes sense.
all of my own old childhood shit.
Yeah. I just feel like what if they were just nervous and they were
Yeah,
just like making that dumb conversation because they
could
were like,
very well be the case.
right, right.
Absolutely could
Oh
be the
God.
case.
I mean, I loved that she was like nuzzling his back. Like she was
It was cute. The date was
flirting.
cute.
But
Hmm.
yeah, you're right. I didn't clock that she was 10 kinds of wasted when she showed up. So shit.
But
But he
it's like in this scene, she wasn't like an outrageous alcoholic, but I think she was nervous and needed to get loose. And she said, starting over in your 50s is tough because you're 50. So I'm sure, and it's easier to be flirty when you've got a couple of gallons of vodka in you.
Oh my
So
God.
it worked for the occasion. They were cute playing darts and she choked on chalk and that was that.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I mean, he's interested. He asked her for a third date on
Mm-hmm.
camera
Mm-hmm.
before the second date ended. So anyway, um, Kyle's house with Mauricio.
Oh boy,
Yikes, yikes,
this was
yikes,
tough.
yikes,
So they're having a
yikes,
drink at
yikes,
their wet
yikes,
bar, and
yikes, yikes.
Kyle, of course, has a non-alcoholic beer and criticizes how Mauricio poured it. And then Mauricio tells her why she's wrong. He defends his pour, and I was like, "Oh my God, you guys have no patience for each other. It's
Yeah.
worn out. You can't stand each
Yeah.
other." And Kyle is so tense. And Mauricio's like, take a breath, say what you need to say. And she almost seems like offended by that because, I don't know if the thought is like he should know or like don't patronize me. I don't know what it was, but like it didn't
Yeah.
make it better. When he said take a breath and touched her hand, she was like, "Ugh," it got like even more tense at that
Yeah.
bar. Yeah.
So I wonder if because he said, "Say what you want to say," like he he has to know that something is afoot, right? He has to know,
I
but he's
think
not asking.
Well, I imagine they're talking about it in therapy, but I think
Oh yeah,
Kyle's more done than Mauricio is willing to accept yet, because him saying like it becomes fun talking in therapy, and it is. When you're in that position, it feels great to tell the truth and to feel like there's a solution
yeah.
and to feel like you're finally like everything is finally on the table. But I think Kyle's put everything on the table, and she's like, and I'm done. And Mauricio's like, oh, I feel good now that I've like said this all out loud. And I don't think he's noticing that she's I don't know. How could he not though? Because he
I don't
said it feels
know.
like fun. And she's like, I wouldn't use the word fun, you know? It's good, feels good. And he's like,
Oh,
that's a good adjective. Like it just was like, ugh, these
it
people
was
are,
just
yeah,
the connections just were not happening at all.
no.
Oof, God.
And then Mauricio puts that massive cracker and cheese in his mouth, like, and continues to talk. And at that point, I've broken up with someone because of how they chewed pretzels. I was like, well, for me, this is grounds for divorce. Like you're having a serious conversation, you're spitting cracker crumbs in your wife's face as you're
I
trying to tell
mean,
her you're involved in self-reflection. Like,
right,
come on,
right.
man.
100% fair. 100% fair.
And Kyle was so disgusted. She's like, I'll let you finish that bite. And you have crumbs on, like, she's done.
She's done.
She is done.
She's fucking done, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I just, he's speaking in platitudes, like he's giving um like a pep rally at the agency before they like open for like World Real Estate Week or some shit, you know? And he can't actually connect with her, so he's vamping and saying all this stuff that he thinks on paper is what he's supposed to say, but it's falling flat and he's missing the point. There's no connection. And then at the end, what she says in her confessional,
Oh, that was
dude,
telling.
she wouldn't have her daughters accept what she doesn't want to accept either. And I was all, wow, 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 wow,
That
wow.
sounds like cheating, right? Because that's not just like
Hmm.
getting the wrong adjective to describe therapy.
Oh,
And the way
fuck.
she
I
was
wonder if, yeah.
crying, like that doesn't seem like we just don't get along and we're too busy. It's like this feels much heavier.
So do you think that it's confirmed or again, am I just being naive that that was just fodder for the tabloids
It's possible.
where there's smoke, there's fire?
I don't know. It's just the way he was talking about it. He said, we've been married for 27 years. Our careers have both blown up. We're spending a lot of, it's almost like he was explaining how that might have happened. And I guess that could be true. And also based on his behavior after they did announce their separation, when he was like in Aspen with like Instagram models, like, and his shirt off, I was like, it seems like maybe that
Oh,
could have
Mo.
happened.
Yeah,
um,
totally.
But who knows? I don't
Uh,
know. And yeah, I yeah, Kyle seems like she's coming to terms with this being over, and Mauricio seems like a bit in denial. Like, this will work out, right? We can work this out, right? Ay, ay, ay.
ay, ay, ay is right. Oh boy. And
Yeah,
then,
that last moment was
yeah,
just deadly when he was like, but we've never throughout this process stopped loving each other. And he grabs her hand and she just goes, so, okay, so, well, and then Mauricio laughed. And I was like, read the room. She didn't say, I love you. Like, come on. Kyle's right. They're just not communicating. She said she's
they're not.
frustrated because she doesn't feel heard. And in this scene, I was like, if this is how it goes down, then like, yeah,
Yeah.
I'd be disappointed too.
Ay, 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 ay. Yay, yay, yay. Oh, God. I mean, she's pretty lucky that next week is the season finale. Again, I've heard rumors that like she's the one that is the target at the reunion, which again, after 13 years of like, just be honest, just be honest. I'm ready for it, but I also like can't help but feel for her right now. Okay. I can't. All right. All right.
Yeah.
I'm on
No,
record.
when they, in the scenes from next week, when they showed her telling her girls who were all
Oh my
crying, I
God.
was just
Yeah.
like, you know what? Fuck everybody who's like, you should have told us. It's like, no, because these are
Yeah.
the people who are going to suffer.
You're
And
right. You're right.
she wasn't
Yeah.
ready and they weren't ready to hear it. And, whatever. I don't know. It sucks. It's fucking sucks.
It
It's
sucks.
awful.
It sucks. It sucks. Oh God. Oh God.
It's so
Mauricio.
real. I
Mauricio used to
know.
be like one of the good ones.
He was, but I think they just had a different relationship. Kyle
They
signed up to
did.
be his supportive cheerleader,
Right.
and now she
Right.
wants a role change and he can't get on board. And I think that is the demise of that partnership. Nobody's right, nobody's wrong. It's
Nobody's
just
right.
they
Nobody's
don't
wrong.
work
You're
together
right. They just don't
anymore.
work together anymore. Right. You're absolutely right. You're right. You're right. Oh God. So let's go to the
Diamonds and Champagne Mother's Day event.
Corbell and Diamond Brunch. I'm sorry. I need to let go of it.
I
Who
this
cares?
this again, Anne Marie is amazing at how like she bores me with everything she does. She got like a huge ice sculpture, threw in multi-million dollar jewelry from overseas, and I could not be more bored.
Yeah.
I cared about nothing in the scene, and maybe it's because I was distracted by this is, Sutton's being exposed as yet again, as someone
Oh my
who
God.
is dependent on alcohol. I mean, I didn't care about any of this opening
I
stuff.
I know.
Anne Marie just, yeah,
I
rehashing her crystal beef.
I wrote Avi made Sutton a roadie. This is the thing I need to stop being in denial about. Like, I have nothing against a roadie.
Of course
I
not.
I BYO cup all over certain cities sometimes. Um, probably would in a limo. I don't know. Like,
This
but
was a pint of
it was a
alcohol. And then
massive.
she said, as Avi, her enabler, handed it to her, she says, this is very full. So we know it's filled to the top. And then she takes a sip and she coughs because it's so
Oh
strong.
my
Did she
God.
cut it? No, she just went on. So that's what she drank. She drank a pint of alcohol filled to the top that's so strong it made her cough. So then she shows up at the party like she shows up at the party. I just wrote, yikes.
We learned that PK has been out of town for 12 days. And Dorit asks when he's coming home, and I don't think he could give her an answer.
No, he tap danced around it and was like, I have to be here for this deal, but I'll be home soon. It's like, well, 12 days in, it feels like
That's a
you ought to
long
know. That
time.
is a long time,
That's a
especially the
long time to solo
overseas.
parent, right?
Hmm.
That's a long time to solo parent and not knowing when that end date is. And then it's Mother's Day week. She tells him what she needs. It would mean a lot to her if he would to be there for her. He comes up with this bullshit excuse that Mother's Day isn't as big of a deal in England. Well, it's like, look, motherfucker, you don't live there. You might want to live there. You might be trying to like live there right now because you don't want to deal with what's going on in your house in LA. But how long have they been together now? Like, this is this is a completely normal, reasonable, expected thing to do.
Well, and even if he
Um,
thinks it's bullshit, his wife doesn't.
right,
So,
exactly. Like,
and he
so
said
what?
he's so rude. He's like, Mother's Day is an important, you're not my mother. And I know that was meant to be a joke, but it's just like everything PK says is so, there's just like a just undercurrent of cruelty with all of it. It's like,
He's
that's so insensitive. You're not even home. You haven't been for weeks.
yeah.
And now you're going to try to make her feel like an asshole for wanting to hear from you or to have you present. Ugh,
I
he's
mean,
so rude.
yeah. And she's like, "Well, I'm our children's mother." Like,
Right.
okay.
But he doesn't care about his children.
You're right.
I don't even think he
Obviously.
remembers he
Oh my
has them.
God. That's so funny. You're right. You're right. Oh, that was that was rough. That was PK PK is not looking so he's never looking good though. But this season
No.
especially, he's looking like an absolute shitbag.
Yeah.
Oh, then we go to Anne Marie's brunch. Yada yada, lots of diamonds was my first note.
This was just, I wrote seafood, desserts, diamond eye sculpture, Jason the jeweler. What is this party? Like, it doesn't even make sense. There were like Belgian waffles next to a seafood tower. I don't understand
Yeah.
who did that layout. I don't want.
Uh
Oh,
I mean, no, like it depends on where you go. Like I think if you go to like a brunch somewhere like New Orleans
mm.
or somewhere where seafood is readily available. Like I can see this in Seattle or maybe even in San Diego or something. Like to have the shellfish, on the buffet station, like next to the breakfast stuff or the salad bar at least, like that makes sense. I was just in New Orleans and went to a brunch though where there was a shit ton of seafood
No, you say that and it makes sense in New
towers.
Orleans.
So
I think it's
yeah,
probably the giant diamond ice sculpture that ruined it. Because you're right. In New Orleans, it is like, here's a bounty,
right.
everybody dig in. But this is Anne Marie going like, it's champagne and a giant diamond and also a bounty. It's like a loose
Uh,
casual. Anyways,
crab
I
legs
just,
look disgusting.
I
I'm
just, yeah,
sorry.
it did not. And who's going to eat a crab leg at like a stand up and walk around part? Like, what's
I don't
going on?
know. She's very clueless. I did not like that Erika did not say thank you to the wait staff that offered her a cocktail when she walked in. She didn't say thank you. I think she was like, "I'll pass" or something. And I
Uh
was like,
huh.
"Dude, just say, 'Oh my god, no thanks, but they look delicious.'" "Oh my god,
Yeah.
no thanks, but they look delicious." Like,
No, she walked up
dude.
criticizing, she's like, "Oh, it looked like somebody broke a glass on these stairs. Pass." And then just walked in. I was like, "You are a
Jesus.
joy. You're a delight."
Um, yes.
So for me, I'm back at Sutton's because now I'm
Okay.
fixated on this, where Avi runs sunglasses out to her because she's
Oh,
forgotten. And
yeah.
she's moving real slow at this point. And I just wrote, wasted.
Do you think it's a possibility that it's the aggressive platforms that she had on?
I mean, moving slow as in like reaching for the sunglasses, as if
Got
she's
it.
telling her
Okay.
brain and her
Okay.
to communicate to her hand to like grab those,
Oh
hold
my god.
those, take them back. Like, but again, I'm projecting. Sutton has
No.
become my dad, and so everything
Yes.
she does, I'm like, that's exactly like when my dad did in it. So
And my dad was a very different kind of a drinker. So, yeah. Yes, I need to take off my rose tinted glasses and see Sutton for who she really is.
well, and even when she arrives, holding her roadie, didn't leave it in the car, showing up to a champagne event, holding like a
It was a
coffee mug of,
tacky cup
I
too. It was
know.
like not a cute cup.
No, and then she complains that there's no handrail, and I'm like, "Because you're drunk." Like, people who aren't
Oh
drunk
my
at 10
god. Oh
AM
my
can
god. Oh my
take those
god.
stairs with ease. Nobody else in that room was
Uh,
like, "Can you believe the stairs?"
it just made me think about Angie's house and how like she had to dodge threats of being sued by Monica Garcia because there were no railings. I don't know what the codes are in again Salt Lake City versus where does
I
Anne Marie
think
live? Does she live in the valley too? She doesn't live in Beverly Hills, does she?
I
She
don't
lives by
know.
Kyle, so she's like what in Encino?
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I think inside you have to have railings, but maybe not outside.
Outside.
Or maybe it's a certain number of steps before you have to have them. I don't know, but I did know that nobody else noticed. Nobody else was struggling up the stairs without a handrail because A, nobody else
No.
was holding a roadie
Oh my
that was
God.
probably.
I mean, a
you know.
roadie like half the size of Sutton.
I know, that's the other
She's
thing,
so
is, like, it's a
yeah,
pint of liquor going into a pint of person. She's so little.
she's so little, but she's, yeah, Jesus Christ. Erika tells Anne Marie, do you have anything that happened before this?
I don't think so.
Erika, so this was interesting. So Erika chooses to talk to the new woman on the cast versus the ones that know her the best.
Mhm.
It's like, is this her last ally? Is this her last chance of getting someone on board with her to see, like, they were being so mean to me. I wasn't expecting to feel so angry at the Ashes release. What does she expect Anne Marie to say? Like, Anne Marie has not given us any nuggets of wisdom or truth or anything this entire. She's not going to come back next year, right? There's no way, right?
I would be
There's no way.
shocked because she's just such a dud.
She's hella dead, dude.
So, unless she has, like, a miraculous reunion performance, I would be surprised if they wanna spend money on her. Because, like, yeah,
Oh
I
my
didn't.
God, Jennifer Tilly, someone, just someone, Jennifer Esposito. My God, like, there's got to be somebody. There's got to be somebody. Somebody. Okay.
Yeah.
People make roadie jokes to Sutton.
Yeah, just enabling her, completely
Yeah.
enabling. Everyone's like, "Oh, she's wasted. Ha ha ha." And Sutton goes, "I'm really naughty today. I came from my wedding," because she's holding flowers. And
Oh, that's right.
I was like, "You're not on this planet." And Garcelle says what we're all thinking is like, "Why did she come with a roadie? This is like a party. There's obviously going to be drinks here." So,
I mean, even like a night roadie,
yeah,
like a night roadie. But yeah, God. I'm like, but maybe she felt like she needed the liquid courage to deal with her castmates.
maybe she did, but
Margie,
that's alcoholism,
yes,
right?
yes, yes,
If
yes,
you
yes,
can't
yes,
show
yes,
up to a
yes.
daytime Mother's Day event without being shit faced, a full pint of liquor so strong it makes you cough. I get taking a shot, but like this ain't that. This is she walked in holding the
Dude,
ugliest,
dude.
trashiest like travel cup. And the Anne
Yeah.
Marie, I didn't blame her for asking Sutton to put it in a glass. Like she's throwing a party. So to have some lady walking around, swilling out of a travel coffee mug
Oh
or
my God,
whatever.
it was
I don't know.
bad. It was a bad cup. Bad.
Bad cup.
Uh, Sutton apologizes to Erika Jane for how much she doubted her innocence throughout the thing with Tom. And I'm like,
Wait, can we
oh, yes, no,
hold on
please,
one
please,
second?
yes,
I don't know if you
yes.
caught this, but as everyone's saying, Anne Marie's saying, "I'm going to put your cocktail in a glass." And Crystal suggests, "How about a glass
Oh,
of water?" And Garcelle says, "How about a cup of coffee?" So everyone knows
yes,
she's
yes,
shit faced.
yes.
And then Garcelle grabs Sutton's face and says, "What is up with you, my dear?" I don't know if you noticed, but they had to pixelate her boob because it fell out of her dress.
I did not notice that.
Well, I did because, again, I'm on high alert because I see an alcoholic in action and I'm like, what's
Hypervigilance,
happening? Her
yes.
tit fell out. She didn't notice, so they pixelated it for camera.
Oh my God,
She's
I didn't notice that.
wasted. It was
I
crazy.
I accidentally went to my last page of notes, which is why but yes, I noticed that too. Maybe she should have a water. Maybe she should have a coffee. And I was like, neither of those things fucking work. If someone's 10 kinds of wasted,
Right.
they're just going to be wasted on coffee.
But I think they're
Just
just saying no
no
more
more.
because
Right.
she's coming in
Yeah.
with her boob out saying she's arriving from her
Oh my
wedding and
God.
she's
Oh my
been naughty. Like, what are you talking about? Oh my God.
God. Oy, oy, oy.
Oh God. We cut to them trying on jewelry. Erika, again saying she loves diamonds, but she's had enough court cases about rocks. I'm sick of her. But
So
then
sick of
we go
her.
back into the kitchen where we see Sutton pouring her own drink from a gallon handle of vodka. And someone off screen says, "That's a heavy pour." And she goes, "Oh, whoops." And then pretends to like dump a little splash of it out. And it was just,
And she had the two separate cups.
yep.
She had her tumbler, her little old-fashioned glass of, not little, actually, it was quite hefty, glass of
Hmm.
vodka, and then the ruby red ocean spray in the other one.
That was, yeah, she was,
Well, yeah.
and okay, they're at a party, there's bartenders. She went into the kitchen to pour out of a massive industrial size container of
Yeah.
vodka. Like
Yeah.
this is a sickness. Like that's just not normal behavior. It's just, and
Oh,
I think she's
God.
been doing it for so long. It doesn't
Doesn't phase her.
at all. But if everyone else in the party is like, whoa, slow down. And the next move she makes is to go hide in the kitchen and pour herself the biggest glass she can. Yikes.
Who said it's a heavy pour? Do you know?
Someone off camera.
Was it a producer? Was it a guest? Do
I
you
wonder
know?
if it was staff who was just like,
Oh,
that vodka has to last
shit.
all day, lady. So,
Oh,
like,
my
that's a heavy
God.
pour. You just
Oh, my
poured a
God.
whole lowball glass, a
Oh, my
whole glass.
God. Oh, my
It's
God. Oh, my
crazy.
God. You're right. You're right. Um, yeah. The next note I have is Erika Jane tells Crystal she appreciated her saying she is sorry she contributed to her pain. Erika is just going to, no matter what she's going to do at this thing this morning, she's all, my to-do list at this fucking brunch, make a million blowjob innuendos, make a million what wouldn't I do for diamonds innuendos. And she is going to talk about how pissed she is at this group of women for not apologizing to her more. That's her agenda for this party.
Yes. After her therapy session where she
After
was
her
told
therapy
closure
session.
comes from you.
Right.
And, it's just
Exactly.
ridiculous.
Ay,
Yeah.
ay, ay. And then we see Crystal telling Anne Marie, thank you so much for being with her or being there for her in Spain when she had the low blood pressure moment and
High blood
that
pressure.
high blood pressure
Yeah.
moment, and where she's been told she needs to exercise more and eat less salt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Thrilling content,
absolutely.
ladies. And basically they make up and just decide to agree to disagree and move on. Yay.
Yeah, there's one
Anne
episode
Marie,
left. I don't
so
give a shit.
boring.
I
So
know.
boring.
Crystal's doing what she's got to do right now. Yep.
Yeah. And then Sutton reports that her date was fun and she looked cute in her jeans and that they haven't kissed yet, which I thought was interesting,
I did too. I thought that was interesting too.
especially after that second date. Maybe
After the
the
second
cameras were
date,
there the whole time or something.
maybe,
I
but
don't know.
like, I don't know. Steve strikes me as the kind of guy that's going to walk you to your car and then be like, oh no, they have valet. What the fuck am I talking about? Okay, so like at the valet, or I don't know.
I don't
I don't
know.
know. Poor
Um,
Steve.
then we head into more blowjob chatter.
Oh my God.
I just don't care. I can't. Erica, again, just bringing back everything that I can't stand about everything that's happened this season.
Right.
Erica says, I've never had a complaint and I don't have a small esophagus. I'm
That
like,
was
wouldn't a small
so
esophagus be
stupid.
better? Isn't the
Right.
idea for everything to be tight? Like, I can't even believe I have to have these thoughts, but like, that's how much I hate you, Erica.
Oh
You're
my
so
God.
boring.
Yes. Yes. And like, again, it's like if you have to talk about it that much, the lady doth protest. Fuck, there was something. Oh, okay. So, like she's willing to she likes to joke about transactions for diamonds. Like, this is what I'll do if you can do that. And it's like, so are we supposed to believe that for the entire time she was married to Tom Girardi, that she didn't already have this like transactional thing kind of working in her favor, or am I being a horrific fucking asshole right now?
No, I think it's just looking at them. It's like, but I mean, I had a therapist once tell me that every romantic relationship is transactional. You're always doing something for someone or receiving something from someone. Like it's not,
That's true.
but Erica, again, is a different case because she's a criminal and that's different.
She is a criminal.
And this is where she gets into whining about people not being there for her over the last year. And she goes, half of me wants an apology from people in this group who didn't believe in me. The other half of me says, no, if they wanted to apologize, they would. And then everyone apologizes
Oh my
except Garcelle.
God.
Fucking thank God for Garcelle. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when she brought up to the group, like, I want everyone to be nicer, I was like, here it goes. This is how she's going to manipulate the beginning of this conversation so she can just work it out in her favor to bring up what she's pissed off about that ash releasing thing.
She wants it on camera that everyone believes her.
Right.
But
Right.
Garcelle was the only one who said, I didn't want you to fall, but I had an opinion and I'm going to stick by that forever. I was
I
like,
love Garcelle.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and the fact that she said, like, oh my God, the fact that she said there are certain people in this group that I would like an apology for, but I don't. I was like, oh my God, stop it. Stop it, Erika. You're being so childish.
Well, and
And
the only one who gave her an apology was the drunk. Everyone else was like, does my one comment negate? Dorit said, does my one negative comment negate all of the other 18 months of supporting you? Kyle says, I took issue with how you handled it. Garcelle straight up says, like, I'm not budging at all. And Sutton's like, I'm sorry I caused you hurt. And then rests her head on her shoulder. And I was
oh
like,
my
oh,
God,
well,
Margie. Oh my God. Oh my
we'll see if
God. Oh
she
my
even remembers
God. Oh
saying
my
that the next
God.
day. I mean, Sutton's like classy drunk. She's not like Dorinda drunk, who you can't understand her and she's just like a nutbag. Sutton's like a good Southern drunk.
Dorinda drunk acts. I figured it out this is what I figured out for me. Watching Ultimate Girls Trip, she's fucking Trump when he goes off on those ranty tangents at his like live show rallies. Like when she's ripping on Kristen Takeman over the pause versus fired thing when they were in the pool. I was like, who does she remind me of? Who does she remind me of? I'm like, oh my God, Dorinda reminds me of Trump. Gross.
Yikes.
I fucking hate Dorinda. Dorinda is the alcoholic I don't like. Sutton is the kind of alcoholic that makes me go, oh, I don't know.
Look, and
I don't know,
again,
is she?
if you're not living with the person,
Oh,
it is
God.
fine. You see her drunk at a party and then you go home. But if you're Avi, this is going to be a hard day after she comes home from drinking this hard, and
He's going to put her to bed, huh?
she'll probably be mean to him.
I
You
hope
know,
not.
I don't know. And then Erika cries and says it never had to be this way, and I just wrote, keep it, just shut up. Yeah, and that will, in theory, she says this will end that storyline, saying, thanks for hearing me. Now let's move forward and fight about something else. In theory, this is the end of it. I guarantee it'll be a third of the reunion, probably even show up next episode too.
When do they start filming again? Probably pretty soon, right?
I don't
Wait,
know.
I feel like they used to do it around like Thanksgiving and Christmas, but now I don't know if that stopped after COVID or if it feels like
Sorry, I just my body,
occupational hazard.
I never know where my body is in time and space. And I just had a moment with my microphone where I learned where it was in time and space.
It happens.
Oops.
It happens. Yeah.
Anyways, you were saying when they filmed. This obviously was May, but I wonder if they're going to stay on that schedule or go back to holidays.
I hope so. I hope they do because that means they're going to start. His trial starts in May.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah.
They're no dummies.
Yeah,
they're no dummies. They're no dummies.
That would be the way to do it.
That would be the way to do it. Oh, I'm here.
I know. And
Yes.
she'll spend the whole time saying, like, I can't comment. It's an active court case, but we'll be able to read all about
We'll be able to read all
don't worry.
about
you don't
it.
have to comment, Erika.
Ma'am, poor Erika.
Lawyer up, lady.
Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then next week is the season finale. And I guess it feels like this season was a whole lot of fucking nothing burger. And it feels like this season also with Mauricio and Kyle, you know, it does seem like it's pretty. It was a grim season. It was grim. Didn't miss Lisa Rinna. Don't give a shit that Lisa Rinna wasn't there.
Nope.
Didn't miss Anne Marie, the episodes that she wasn't on. See, I'm fidgeting. I don't have to play with my fucking notes right now. I'm so sorry. I cannot sit still. It's very frustrating. I apologize.
No, don't apologize. It's neurospiciness.
But yeah, we've come a long way since the eagle woman has landed. But
Yeah.
at the same time, we really haven't because Erika still has the same bullshit that she sat down with that thing. Kyle is still, yeah, is everyone the same as they were in that Eagle Woman Has Landed first episode?
I mean, I feel like Kyle was like a slow burn to what will probably be the entirety of next week's episode of her family falling apart.
Mm,
But yeah, I don't know. Sutton had her dating storyline, and I just didn't care. Her
yeah.
horse storyline, which had showed up twice, maybe, and to no end. Like, yeah, it was just a bunch of like, just a
Oh, God.
hodgepodge of like ladies doing shit, and then a couple, big emotional things going on.
More
Mostly,
racism
yeah.
from Dorit.
Ay, ay, ay.
More
Yes.
racism from
Oh,
Dorit.
that's right. I forgot about that whole
More,
segment where
more.
Garcelle was just like, I give up, onward.
Yeah, obviously,
Sad.
yeah, you gotta accept the things you cannot change, man. That's
True.
what Garcelle was doing.
That's so
She was
true.
accepting what she cannot change. Dorit is never going to get it.
No.
Um, yeah. Uh,
What
yeah.
did what did you watch this
I guess
week?
that's it. What did I watch this week? Let's see. Oh my God, caught up on so much Miami.
Oh, I'm still
I
behind.
love Miami so much. I love it. 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 I love Dr. Nicole. Uh, I love watching Alexia just be a fucking fool. I love Marisol Patton. I just love to see her house and her. She's so lame, dude. The cockies thing is so lame. Give it up. Give it up. Adriana, problematic fave. Julia, love Julia. I think Martina's a little mean.
Mhm.
She wasn't in any of the episodes I saw, but she's kind of gnarly. Like Martina doesn't seem like a real soft place to land. And Julia seems like real emotional and sensitive and whatever, yin yang, not my business.
I mean, Martina appears like she has a very tough exterior, but there
Very.
have been moments on the show where she's been, really sweet.
And
After
I'm
she
sure,
sang that terrible opera, she
oh
was
my
like, "Oh,
God,
sweetheart."
it was so brave.
It was.
Uh, and plus, like, given what she's gone through in the last few years, like,
Yeah.
she may have had a lot of vulnerability she probably experienced. So, you know what?
Yeah.
I take it back. I take it back. I just haven't really liked the way she's treated Julia sometimes, but that was before. I don't know what's happening now. Anyway, I watched a lot of Miami. It was fantastic. My friend Lee and I had a sick obsession with the Titan submersible that went
Mm.
down last June, and ABC said that they had like a new, bombshell show about it, and we watched it, and it was all shit that we'd seen before, and so it just basically gave us more submersible blue balls, and I don't know what it's gonna take for us to get more information, and, you know, James Cameron was on this show being quoted, and after the Titan came to its Davy Jones locker demise. I don't know how to explain it. We watched a lot of James Cameron. Like James Cameron made a submersible 20 years ago that looked futuristic. 20 years ago, it looked futuristic, and it still does compared to the thing that Stockton Rush built that they went down in June.
It was operated by, like, a joystick. You
Bruh,
can't
a
put me on the
fucking
bottom of the ocean with a
no. I
joystick.
mean, the floor
Not if
looked
I'm not
like
connected by, like, a line or any like,
right.
it just seems
The
nuts.
floor looked like Legos. It like a Lego play thing, and so I just looked at Lee several times and I'm like, "My God, to have the confidence, the smarts, the ego of James Cameron, I would just like to see what it's like for a year. Just for a year, maybe 6 months, maybe a month, just to see what it's like to walk through the world like James Cameron." Unless he's, like, wildly insecure and I don't know it, but, like,
I don't
yeah,
get
he
that
doesn't
sense.
I don't either. Yeah, if anyone wants to, like, look at, someone going down to the Titanic, there's, like, I don't know, Ghosts of the Abyss or something. It's this, like, 20 or over 20-year-old documentary that James Cameron's in with, Bill Paxton's in it too because he was really obsessed with
Hmm.
I know. Love him so much.
Yeah.
Anyway, he was obsessed with the Titanic too. So, we watched that. I haven't watched The Bachelor this week. I was out of town earlier this week. Well, I got back yesterday. And then Curbed. Not a lot of TV. Not a lot of, oh, the Super Bowl. Guess that's reality
Mhm.
TV.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. How about you?
I watched The Bachelor, but I only watched there were 2 episodes this week, so I only watched Monday because I was like, "I can't. It's
Oh
too
my
much
God.
Bachelor."
That's a lot of Bachelor.
A lot of Bachelor. And then I watched Tom Sandoval yell at Lisa Vanderpump on
Oh my
Vanderpump
God.
Rules and just make an absolute ass of himself. Like, the lack of self-awareness is it's almost hard to bear through the TV. I can't imagine. But Tom Sandoval continues to see himself as wronged and victimized in the wreckage he created entirely
Yeah.
himself.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Yeah.
And then I watched The Housewife and the Hustler Part 2 on
Oh
Hulu,
God.
and it's so disgusting. Erika, I'm done. Like, she meets with the victims and paints herself as a victim, and she lost money, they lost loved ones and mobility, and like, it's not the same. You could be a little more
No.
compassionate. And it's
100%.
also revealed in that she set up her costume designers to uh the I think the feds. Oh, you knew this. Okay, I
I
didn't
knew
know
this.
this.
I knew this from the article in
But
the LA Times.
yeah,
And
Tom
yeah.
Girardi was able to get $800,000 back from the credit card company, but at the cost of an innocent man going to jail. Going to jail.
Innocent Latino costume designer.
Uh-huh. And they just won some Emmy awards, so that is. But to hear them tell their story was he was trying to adopt a baby. That's off the table. You can't do that if you have a record. It's just she's monstrous. She is
Diabolical.
truly.
Dia-fucking-bolical.
Ugh.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Yep. Yeah, I completely forgot that Vanderpump Rules was on.
it's not that great.
It's not that
That
great.
one scene just stood out because I was like,
I can't
"Stop
wait.
yelling at
It's just
her."
Lisa is such an asshole though, because she's the first one to go to bat for all of these idiot men on that show. Schwartz is 40 something, right? His like, I'm a just a I don't know what I'm doing, kind of shtick is so stupid. Obviously, Tom Sandoval is a whole book, but she just always has to go for those broken birds, or she'll make them into a broken bird. Not unlike I'm making Sutton into a very sympathetic character. So you know what?
No, I was
But
just
it's
gonna
like,
say we all bring our own stuff to it
yes,
because
we
in that
do.
scene, she says, I suddenly realized why she didn't want everyone railing on Tom Sandoval and didn't want him to feel alone because she was afraid he was gonna do what her brother did and end it.
Oh
You
my
know? So I
God.
don't even think she's thinking about Raquel and Ariana's betrayal, blah, blah, blah. I think she's like, the end game here could be really gnarly. So I'm just going to go ahead and bypass being mad and say, like, are you
Okay.
okay? Do you feel supported? Please
Okay.
don't kill yourself?
Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense a lot.
But
That makes a
that's
lot
just,
of
I mean,
sense.
it's exactly what we talk about. It's like we all bring our own filter,
We
our
do.
own lens to
Mm.
anything that goes on in
Mhm.
life. So,
Mhm.
um,
So important to remember. It's so
mhm,
important to remember. Everyone's experiences informs their behavior,
mhm.
their responses to you, their just everything. Yeah. It can't be underestimated.
And what was your antidepressant?
Well, obviously every time we get to do this, it's like an instant sublingual fast acting long-lasting antidepressant, A. B, I went on my third annual, Galentine's slash Moms on Furlough trip to a spa in Calistoga that my friend Lee and I like to go to, and we went and we were full fucking idiots. I mean, to ourselves,
Mhm.
and the people that happened to, like, be around us got a kick, so we weren't obnoxious. Maybe we were and people ignored us. I don't know. But we basically just like floated in hot mineral water for 48 hours. And it rained and we didn't give a shit. And it was just like so fucking lovely. My mom flew into town yesterday.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
She's down to go to a salsa festival in the city this weekend, so she tagged on a few extra days. Let's see, we had my kid's birthday party last weekend, and it was really fun. He and his friends had a lot of fun, and it was chill. It was good. So, I got nothing. I'm just very grateful today.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. How
good.
about you, friend?
My antidepressant this week was writing. Like I'm
Mm.
consulting on a couple projects, and I love everyone uh, and what they're creating. It's like amazing to work with them. And I'm working on a project with a friend, and it's just like so fun. We just laugh the whole time, and it's a
Oh,
blast.
I'm so glad.
And then it also like the physical act of writing. My friend Beth gave me these like notebooks um, as a gift for Christmas, and they're from my favorite store on Larchmont called Shorthand. It's this like gorgeous stationery store, and everything in there is it's just luxury. You know the difference when you write on like shitty paper and then when you write on that paper where
Yes.
it moves
Yes.
the pen for you.
Yes. Yes.
So I've
Yes.
been trying to journal, and it's been like I look forward to opening that thing. It's like this bright yellow leather bound smooth paper. Like it's just I don't know. The nature of writing in like physical form has been super satisfying.
Oh,
When
I'm
you have
so
rich
glad.
products to write on, it's really great.
Yes. Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, everyone, that brings us to the end of this episode. We will be posting this episode on YouTube. I didn't get to doing it last week. I'm sorry. I meant to. I guess I could always just put it up and then it's old. I don't know or not.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
I don't know. Figuring it out, doing our
Yes.
best. But we will put this one up. I already talked at the beginning. I got rid of all the business in the beginning. So we will just leave it with please take good care of yourself. Maybe treat yourself to a new journal that you really like the way the pen feels writing on it. And that'll be
So
extra
nice.
motivation to write on it. Um,
I'm so sorry. This happens every time when we wrap up. The garbage truck
the
is in
garbage
front of
truck.
my house for like an hour.
It's garbage day at our house
It
too.
it
So
is.
yeah,
Sorry,
yeah,
it's
it
so loud and
happens.
they're taking forever.
Listen, what are you going to do?
Yeah,
Um,
everybody. Yeah, oh sorry, go ahead.
no. Yeah, please, you. I was
I
just
was
going to
just gonna
say,
say
oh my God.
we're so funny.
Ay, ay, ay.
Yeah, I was just gonna say everybody take good care of themselves and we'll talk next week. But
Yes,
if
for
there's anything
sure.
else on the agenda,
There's not. There's
sweet.
not. Yes, just take good care of yourselves,
Yeah.
everyone. Be gentle on yourself. If it's hysterical, it's historical. Anyway, that's it. Okay. I guess I'm going to we'll just say bye.
Bye everybody from me and the
Bye.
garbage truck.
It's time to take A Therapeutic Dose, a prescription-strength reality TV podcast that explores the intersection of reality TV and therapy. Possible side effects may include entertainment, strong emotional reactions, and/or laughter. Here are your hosts, Ramona Ramirez and Margie McGee.